All right, so this morning we're going to attempt to put these bushings in and the lower ball joints. As you know from other videos, I don't have a press. I do everything the old-fashioned way, the hard way. So what I did was these bushings have been in the freezer for weeks now. What I'm going to do is heat up the area and hopefully just tap them in. Hopefully. And then I went back and forth, been talking to a bunch of people about this, about painting the bushings, not painting the bushings. If you don't paint the bushings, they just rust. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to put the bushings in and then tape off around the rubber part so I don't get paint on that. But I want to get the bushing itself painted because it is just raw metal. So we'll see how that works out. I got the upper parts here. They're going to be natural steel, so I'm just putting a quick coat of clear coat on them before the bushings go in. I'm going to leave them just natural steel, but the clear coat will seal it, and that's what I did with the steering shaft also. So, all right, I'm not going to bore you with this, but I will show you and let you know how it goes with the heating and the knock them in. All right, we'll pick you up when we got something done. All right, that was pretty easy. The ball joint was a little harder getting in because it has like a knurl on it to keep it good and tight. But I heated everything up. These, I was able to just tap them right in. Went actually pretty easy. I might put a little spot weld. I don't know. It's not that way from the factory, but that's just me. I might just tack it there so the bushing can't flex at all. I don't know if it does or doesn't, but like I said, lower ball joints in, the bushings are in. So like I said, remember, heat and cold are your friends. Makes things a lot easier, especially if you don't have a press and all that. It's less strain on everything because you literally just tap it in then, which works pretty good. All right, we'll show you when we get everything together before we paint it. All right, got all the bushings in. The only problem I had was this lower ball joint. I cannot, for the life of me, get that in. I tried my ball joint press, tried everything, beat on it. I don't want to beat on it too much because I don't want to destroy it. So I'm going to have to bring it over to my buddies and put it in this press, I guess. Some of the reviews with these Moog ball joints say they don't fit properly, they're tight, they are like knurled, so you kind of have to get past the knurl. This one, it was tight going in, but that one went in all the way. I was able to get it in. These bushings are a little tricky because you got to put one in and then put the crossbar in and then press the other one in. So that was a little tricky. I used a big pipe and I heated the control arm. And like I said, all the bushings were in the freezer. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a tack weld on each one of these on the inside just to hold the bushings. It's probably not necessary, but it'll make me sleep better at night. So like I said, all in all, it went well. About an hour and a half to do everything, but I spent a good half hour on that one ball joint and I still didn't succeed. So we'll get it pressed in, and what we'll do is we'll try to tape the rubber off so we can paint everything. If these were painted before, the paint would get destroyed just putting these in. Because you're moving and banging and, so, like I said, I talked to a bunch of people, looked at a bunch of things online. Everybody's like, put the bushings in and paint them. Don't worry about it. So it's not a, Mecum or, big show car. So it'll be nice. That's the whole thing. And like I said, if I was doing a complete original resto, I wouldn't be painting the frame. So, all right, still got to finish prepping this a little bit, get some epoxy on it, and get some paint on it. But I got to do that, get the suspension back on so I can roll it back out to do the back half. So, and of course the weather is kind of cold now, but so we're still waiting to epoxy prime this. I have to get some hardener for the top coat because I want to hot coat it. In other words, I want to put the primer on, let it sit for an hour, and then top coat it. If not, you have to resand the epoxy. That's what I'll have to do in the middle part of the frame where I welded it, but no big deal. Everything is ready to go. I am going to try to tape those bushings off. Everything's wiped down. I'll do one more wipe down. All right, so we are going to try to get this frame painted and get these suspension parts painted. Got my epoxy primer in here, and so we got to do underneath and the top. I'm going to do probably just 2 light coats. Don't want to do it heavy, just want to seal it. That's the objective. So I'm going to spray the top first, get a little out of the gun, and then get underneath because I got to twist and hold the gun. We taped up the lid so it doesn't leak. And this is my old primer gun. Got the set to about 2022. It is an HLVP gun, but it's old and still works though. So, all right, let's get going here. Okay. All right, notice that I'm putting something in the frame, trying to move something there, but something on. All right, so now we're going to leave the frame there. I've got to turn the fan on. Also, it's blowing out, but it's fine. All right, now we're going to paint the suspension parts. Hopefully you can see that. No, sorry, hear me. All right, hopefully you can see. Paint the suspension parts. All right, so that's one light coat on there. I'm gonna give you a little close-up, show you. There's a few places that we still have to get to, but we're gonna mist another coat on for maybe a little heavier in the bushing areas. But all in all, it's got good coverage. A little run there, but that doesn't mean anything with this. So yeah, see in there, I gotta get in there still. But all in all, like I said, one coat, and then we will put another coat on, and we'll show you when we got the top coat on, and then we'll show you when we start spraying the black. So we got 2 coats on here now. I said I wanted to do light. That one turned out kind of heavy. Got a few runs, but like I said, you'll never see them. There's a little run there, a little run there, but like I said, you'll never see them once everything else goes on. And got all the suspension parts done there, a little run there. We'll just wipe it. It's still tacky, so it'll reform itself. Yeah, I'm getting paint all over me now. Dum-dum. All right, just wanted to show you that's the final coat. We are going to let this set up for about an hour. No more runs there. I didn't, on that last coat, I don't think I had the gun set perfect. First coat went all right, but second coat was kind of heavy. I should have had a little more air to the mix and make it atomize better, but it is what it is. Like I said, it's just epoxy primer. It's just to seal it. So we will show you once we get some black on it, and that will be in about an hour. All right, we are going to top coat this frame now. I did a different spray pattern with this black paint, the top coat. We got about 20 some odd psi. And let's get a coat on it. Let's do this. Get this done.
Luke, I am your father.
All right. So you can hear the air compressor running. So there's like a 10% chance of rain today, and wouldn't you know it, it's starting to sprinkle. Not much I can do now, but hopefully it doesn't turn into anything. Hopefully it's a drop here and a drop there, so it is what it is at this point. All right, we'll show you when we're totally done. All right, 2 coats of black Rustoleum on the frame. What I do is I use 4:1 ratio with the Rustoleum. I do 4 parts Rustoleum to 1 part acetone to 1 part hardener. The only issue is it dries a little shinier with the hardener in it than regular satin. Of course, it's still wet now, so it looks like gloss black, but it will dry more to a satin. You know, I know there's a lot of controversy out there about Rustoleum paint, but if you do it properly, it works good. I mean, it lays out nice, and you know, it's not, you know, I do have the heater on to try to take out some humidity. Let's see, it's in the shop here. It is 72 here in the shop, but outside it's only about 65, so probably 65-ish around where I'm painting. But like I said, it lays out really good, and if you put epoxy primer down first, it really grips into that and it lasts a long time. A lot of people use Pour 15, that works too. Pour 15 is a little harder to work with because once you open the can and reseal it, it's hard to, you know, get it to reseal. But all in all, like I said, it came out very nice. And as you can see, this is drying a little faster than in there, and it's starting to be more of a satin than the high gloss. But all in all, everything came out good. I did run out of paint on the last thing here. I got the outside and I only got like maybe a coat and a mist on the inside, but the inside will never be seen. And you know, I was really worried about this area, but that's never seen. The only time you'll see this area is under the car. So we got a good coat on everything, and the gray epoxy is covered. So a little run there, couple little runs here and there, but that stuff will never be seen. You'll never notice it. It's not like you're painting the body. So all right, just wanted to show you. And our next step will be, got to clean up the rest of this suspension stuff, all this stuff, get it painted, and then start assembling this front end, get this all back together. Got our steering linkage I got to clean up, paint. I don't think any of that's bad. I got to check it though. I want to make sure the boots and everything are good. We did do all new ball joints, uppers, lowers, bushings. So all the suspension in the front is brand new. Steering components, we didn't. The center link had been replaced. So like I said, we'll go over that, make sure that's all good as we put it together. And if it's got any issues, we'll just replace it. So all right, so like I said, next step is to put the suspension together, get it back on the ground, roll it out, and then do the back half of the frame. And then I do have some work to do underneath of the body of the car. 2 places I gotta do a little welding.